Hi, it's Doug and Beans from Hammersmith Equestrian Center in East Dennis, Massachusetts. I'm Doug Wrench, I'm the head trainer.
I'm Amanda McPhee, I'm the assistant head trainer.
And this is another part of our training process with Rodeo the Mustang.
Yes.
We had this problem with him right away of him being difficult to handle on the ground, and he just had enough. He turns tail and just goes the other way. And if you walked him on the left, he just automatically cut out to the right. And before you know it, you're at the end of the lead.
Yeah.
And there's not much you can do about it.
No.
So what have we tried lately, Miranda, to try and fix that?
So a few things that I've tried, right away I was like, let me just put as little obstacles in our way as possible getting to and from where we're going. And so I'd make sure that the gate to the ring was already open, because if he gets away from me, he wasn't interested in coming anywhere near the barn. He was interested in staying up in the paddock area where all the other horses are and where the grass is. So from there, I really worked on just holding his attention, gaining his attention. I did a lot of groundwork with him in the ring, and that way when he was getting distracted by something, because initially that's what I thought was happening, is that he was just getting very distracted and then either spooking or that was holding his attention, and when I put pressure on him, he just wasn't having that pressure. So from there, I tried to just hold his attention. That wasn't working so well, and it kind of got to the point where, I'm only so big and he's a horse.
It doesn't matter how big you are. He's about at least 1,200 pounds. You're not going to win a tugging contest with a horse, especially one that's determined and set in his ways.
Yeah.
Originally, we saw this as a relatively minor problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're putting a little more importance on it. I agree, but personally, we don't care for horses that are dangerous on the ground.
Yeah.
And I say dangerous because he's as sweet as a cupcake, but if he's doing something to you and going to throw you around as a human because he's playing with you or whatever, that's a dangerous horse.
Mm-hmm.
Not a malicious horse,
yeah,
but dangerous. So,
and none of it is him trying to be bad or trying to be mean or aggressive. He just gets something stuck in his mind and he's gonna do it, and it's just with repetition. I think that it's just kind of become a pattern for him that he thinks he's allowed to do that and that it's okay.
Well, to me it seems like you let him out into the grass pasture area, you take him out of his paddock, and he wants to eat grass.
Yeah.
So he's just gonna turn tail and go and get grass, and you gotta be the trainer who doesn't wear the gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the trainer who doesn't wear the gloves is smart enough to know when to let go. All right, so we don't put him in an environment. The first time he did it to me, I was up on the road with him.
Yeah.
Because he seemed so good on the ground, and that's not a good place to be.
No.
So if we're in a place where we're in a ring or a pasture, it's closed in, and he starts pulling this stuff, you may give him a little initial pressure, and maybe a release pressure, and then you end up at the end of the rope. The game is over. Okay, you got to let go, and you got to try something different. So one of the things we are going to try now, because it was suggested by someone, which it was very much of a common sense approach, and to be honest with you, neither one of us thought of it. So it was our farrier, Chet Mowdy, and farriers, when it comes to handling horses on the ground, it really pays to listen to what they have to say.
Yeah,
because they handle a lot of horses they don't see often, or strange horses, and I'm also often very impressed with how they handle horses. So what did he recommend?
He was trimming Rodeo, and we were just talking about him and what's been going on with him, and I was telling our farrier we don't use chains, so using that to get him under control is not in the game for us. So our farrier was saying that back when he had horses at his house, he'd work all day and he had to get the horses out in the morning and in at night, and he didn't have time to deal with behaviors like this. So with one of his horses that did a similar thing, he just decided, well, if I have the lead rope clipped to the left side of the horse, the left side that I'm leading him on, when he wants to duck out to the right, I can actually get the pressure where I want it. So this actually acts, if you think about it, we ride Rodeo bitless, so this pressure almost acts more as if you had a rein and you're giving pressure to change his direction. So
Yeah, he's got to follow his head. Horse is always going to follow its head. So if you can turn the head,
so
that's
even
where
right
he's gonna
there,
go.
he's distracted because he hears a car beeping. He wants to look behind him right there. I was able to catch him a lot quicker with that pressure because if I have it connected under his halter, there's so much room for movement here. I'm not going to get the pressure that I want immediately, and it's not going to come from where I want it. So this was a pretty simple idea, and if you think about it, it's just common sense and has to do with your point of leverage, really.
Now I tried rope halter on him. It seems to work better at doing it, but I think this is the first time or second time we've actually tried it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick with that for a little while. The main thing to remember though with horses is, especially training them and working with them, especially on the ground, you got to have a lot of confidence. You cannot be frustrated. The minute you're frustrated, the horse is just going to boom, not going to listen to you, or even whatever he wants to do, he's going to get even more, exasperated and want to do that because he's going to be thinking, well, this person is making me nervous. I'm just going to go the other way and get away from him. So you got to just be made dead calm all the time.
Yes.
And what I liked about this idea from Chet was that, we work with a lot of horses. A lot of times we've done a lot of stuff, but there was a simple, we go back to the common sense solution that he threw at him saying, I looked at Vanna and said, you know what? That is a good idea.
Yeah.
So.
And he was saying, talking about training and making time for training. He was a guy, he was on a limited schedule. He only had limited time to train the horse the way he needed it to be. And like he said, he only had in the morning 20 minutes when the horses were going out, and at night 20 minutes when the horses were going in. And no, he said it did not work within a day, it takes the repetition, but also sometimes trying to get that response or that result in one day is going to be more detrimental than trying to do it over a few days.
Very similar to trailer loading.
Yep.
Trailer loading may not happen the first day you try it, the second day, the third day, the week, the second week. It may take time. And even with Harley, we had some regressions with him, and we had to work with him a little bit more. So it's going to be patience and persistence on your part, and using the old noggin and having some common sense, right? Some old cowboy tricks.
Yeah, don't overthink it.
Yeah, I mean, talk to people. Don't look at a farrier and say like, well, what does he know about horses or riding horses? He's around a lot of horses, a lot. I mean, how many clients he has, how many horses he sees, and he has to get the job done.
Mm-hmm. Even our floater that came, I mean, he handled all of our horses absolutely amazingly. I mean, his horsemanship on the ground was really impressive, and that's because he doesn't have a choice but to have good horsemanship on the ground because he has to get the job done.
So as trainers, we're always learning, never think that you know it all or your way is the only way to do it. That's just the only place we draw the lines, like Baines was talking about chains and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're really a little conservative with training aids, and that's just the way we are. But other than that, listen to what people have to say, and when you become more knowledgeable, you'll be able to sort out good and bad ideas. Yeah. And it'll help you a lot. So Rodeo, great horse, great under saddle. He's ground manners, not
really, really good boy.
Yeah, not
he's
great,
snuggle bug.
And it's dangerous to him and to us handling him on the ground.
Well, because right now only a limited number of people can actually handle him, which are pretty much Doug and I are the only people that are comfortable handling him on the ground, and not because he's being mean or doing anything bad. He's not trying to kick or bite or anything aggressive. It's just he's a horse and he's stronger than you. So, and here we want all of our horses to be able to be handled by everyone. So it's a process that we're really dedicating the time to, because we could say, oh, okay, well, just the two of us can handle him, but that doesn't work, and that's not what's safe.
My training program with any horse always starts on the ground, and it may be a couple of weeks sometimes on the ground, never getting on them, and I think that's time well spent.
It definitely is.
And then you have a good, calm horse that does what you want. You understand him. He understands you. He trusts. He trusts pretty well, but every horse is different.
He just gets distracted. That's his main issue.
So that's an update on Rodeo. We love him to death, the Mustang.
He's amazing.
And he's starting to turn white here for the summer, but as he sheds out.
Starting to shed out to his rolling colors.
He's a good boy. So we'll keep you updated with how we're doing with him and the rest of the horses. So Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next week.
Thank you very much.
Well, Rodeo, you didn't flip out.
Oh.
And hopefully off menu. I'm sure. I'm not even going to check if I recorded. I think I recorded. I'm just kind of done here.
Alright, ready?
Oh my God, listen to that guy. He's blinking his eye? Yeah, well maybe Marina has to come look at it. I mean, she knows, and we might be able to just call him. We might be able to just call Marina and see what she thinks, since she's familiar with it.